So I'm starting to cut the rafters, and I did one and got it in place, got it test fitted to make sure it was all good. And I took the pieces that I actually cut off it and used it to make this template. So now I can slide the next 2x6 in there, mark out my cuts for the seat cut and the flush cut, or the plumb cut, and then I'll be able to mark them in here real quick and then just make my chops real fast. That template really did help this all go a lot faster, because you'll see me teaching Allie how to measure each one out by hand, and it takes a little bit longer than marking it out with the template.
Yeah, you didn't give me a template. You don't just love me that much, I guess.
Well, the template, the ones I taught you how to do were a shallower pitch, so the pieces that I had to attach onto a template were small enough that they would have broken if I tried to actually attach them to anything.
Do you know what I hear? Excuses.
I do love you, and I'm trying to teach you. And
I know. I'm just giving you crap.
The hard way.
So, I love how like you're just at every bit of the room like at a time. Like, oh, I'm going to start here, then I'm going to go to the opposite side, and then go back, and you're just all over the place. Like, seeing this sped up made me realize how all over you have to be.
Yeah, especially when doing like the top plates, you're just trying to span as much of the wall in long pieces of lumber, because you want to basically tie everything together. So the longer you can do, the better.
I hope no one has problems with seizures.
Yeah, because this is kind of bad. It's just the clouds were
going
letting
in
light and then blocking the light, and then
having it sped up like 30 times the speed. It's quite a flashing effect,
yeah.
Would you say? Yeah, it's cloud movement behind is interesting though.
Yeah.
So you did this first section by yourself, and I joined in later.
I mean,
Maybe.
we could keep trying to pull it more, just... Help. Push. Push. Push! Push, baby, push!
Okay, I'll cover this side. Okay.
Let's try again. Back to the first method. Okay. Keep going. Wait. Okay, too far. Back up. Stop. Got it. Now I got 2 nails.
Perfect. That's exactly what you meant to do.
The thing flung and hit me in the nose.
Once I got Allie's help to brace this wall, it was able to hold it from going in or out, so that way it would be in basically the place I would need it to. So I just had to do small little adjustments to fit the roof rafters, because the roof rafters were cut to the exact dimensions that we needed to run from one side to the other. So that brace we put in helped to get to a distance where I could just kind of do a slight prying with my hammer, and then it would be where it needed to be.
Love the confidence you have, like, in high places.
I've been climbing trees and buildings a lot, and I really enjoy this part of it.
This board on top is temporary. It's not really part of the structure. We just
It holds all of those on the layout that they should be. Plus, it allows me to drape the plastic over it safely.
Yeah. Well, then here's you teaching me after you messed up once. But
the first time I was still doing the steeper pitch for the 6/12 pitch we're doing, when now I'm showing you how to do a 2/12 pitch, which is a much shallower pitch for our loft.
Yeah. And getting up on that roof, I'm not good with heights. I can imagine a lot of people can relate to that. I'm not as bad as some people. Like, some people can't even get on a ladder without freaking out. I'm okay at, like, you know, on ladders to a certain extent, maybe halfway up, if it's a tall ladder. Or I don't like standing at the top of the ladder without holding on to something.
Well, I was really impressed with you. It was obvious that you were uncomfortable, but you were still willing to be up there and face your fears to help me.
If it made it go faster, that's what I'm willing to do. Because it is getting colder. I don't know if you can tell from the jackets, but we did get first snow already.
Yeah.
And luckily we had this plastic tarp on over it, so nothing got wet. It was great.
This day, having this tarp flapping back and forth, like right beside you, and the whole tiny house kind of shifting a little bit every time I was hammering on it, kind of
or the
freaked you out
wind.
a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little terrifying.
So I'm putting on the sub-facia right now, which is basically a 2x6 that the finished fascia will then be mounted to afterwards. But it helps us keep like an air gap and keeps spacing proper for where we're going to have our siding come up to it.
Gives it a nice finished look rather than just jutting out.